Hello and welcome to the part 1 of Spy Guide. In this video, we'll go over all the spy missions variations for Corpus and Grineer. Part 2 will have the spy missions from the two spoiler planets. So, on to the Earth Spy VQ. So, Earth Spy is the first spy mission that you'll encounter in Warframe. Just hack the door console, head downstairs to this console, hack it, jump up straight onto the cables, parkour ahead, behind the waterfall, hack the console right behind the waterfall, and just jump down to this console in particular. Jump downstairs, hack the console. Be sure to shoot the sensor bar or it will trigger the alarms and it will drain your energy as well. So shoot it, go to the console, hack it, and that's this part done. Now on to the second one. Jump down after hacking the door console. You can just jump upstairs. Also, if you do get detected by the drones, you'll trigger the alarms. Or if you hit them and can't one hit them, you'll trigger the alarms as well. You can take the stairs as well. That's up to you. But I prefer the jumping approach. Hack the console and you're done with this one. Now for the third one, is by far the easiest. Hack the door. Wait for these lasers to go out. Again, they will trigger the alarms. Check to see if these lasers trigger or not. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off. Shoot the grate, jump through it, and just drop down the pipe. After that, hack the console. You're done with this one. The door will open, so you'll just leave. And that's Earth Spy done. So after Earth Spy, we'll look at the Grineer Spies. Basically, all the planets of Grineer, except for Earth and Uranus, will have the same spy missions. So hack the door, head inside. We're gonna kill this guy so he doesn't become a problem. Shoot the sensor bar so we don't trigger the alarms. Go down the stairs. Right here, we're gonna hack that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the main door. If you missed it, we saw an elevator come right up. This is the same elevator. We go down it, kill the enemies, and way in. This one is really easy. We're done with this one. So again, the next one, hacking the console. We got seen by the drone, sadly. So this is the direct approach. We just head straight to the console. There's two ways to do this. I'll show you the second way in just a second. We haven't disabled these lasers, so they would have, even if we would have gotten inside easily, we would have still triggered the alarms. So the second way to do this is head on left down this pipe, hack this particular console. So what we're doing basically is we're just disabling the lasers that were on, which would have triggered the alarms regardless if we didn't trigger them. Head down this way, jump up. Oh, that's my jumps. Head down this pipe, down this one, and we're gonna hack this particular console now. So what we did now is disable both of the lasers, so we can do this easily without triggering the alarms. Now we're gonna hack the console, check to see if there's any drone that will trigger the alarms, and we're in. Now, as you might have seen, that was from a different planet, depending on the difficulty. So on to the next one, hacking the console, wait for the drone to get out of our way so we don't trigger the alarms. Head down to the left, There's another much more complicated way to do this spy mission, this particular one, but I'm showing you the easiest way to do it. Jump across, hack the console, and we're inside, and that's this one done. On to the next one. So that's the direct way to approach it, but you will need particular frames like Wukong or Limbo. On higher difficulties, these lasers will there will be lasers here as well, so be careful about it. Head down there. We're gonna hack the console. We're gonna ignore the stalker for now, even though he's still spawning. Hacking hacking the console, and will be we're done. This one is the easiest. After you hack the console, just jump straight up, fall down this particular vent or open area, and just hack the console. This one by far is the easiest one. I absolutely love that one. On our way out, we're just gonna shoot it. Again, shoot sensor bars so we don't trigger the lamps. And also what they do is drain out all your energy. Just head down. I think we got detected by a drone. Hack the console and we're done. So the second way to do this is just shoot this crate and just go on and hack the console. That one is really easy as well. Now onto Uranus Spy. This one you will need an Arcwing for it, otherwise you won't be able to do this because Uranus actually needs Arcwings to get around the planet, get around most of the tilesets. As you see, difficulty of the hacking is getting harder as we progress on to the planets. Jump down. There's actually three ways to do this, but I'm going to show you the direct way to do it. So we go inside, jump up. Be careful of the drones as well. Now, be careful that there are lasers running around. We just went into one. So yeah, be sure to be careful about those lasers. They will trigger the alarm. Now on to the next one. We're gonna jump up on the right side, not that way. Or in this opening. The other side, we're gonna shoot the grate. Shoot this one. What you can do here is just slide onto it, underneath it, or if you try to jump, you will trigger the alarms, which I did stupidly here. Shoot the grate, jump down onto our right side, shoot the grate open, and we're inside without any hassle. Also, I'll recommend building ciphers at this point because the hacking will get harder, but if you are skilled enough, you can still do it. On to the next one. This one, by far, people find it much harder. There's two ways to do this. The left side, which is going complicated way, like left, right stuff. Wait for these to go out, go up, go up again. Wait for these lasers to move away from the point where we're about to jump off. And what we're gonna do is just jump to this opening. Jump down and we're inside. I'm just gonna use Cypher instead of hacking. It is much faster, but in certain missions like nightmare missions and sorties, it's not gonna be available. So be careful about it. So I'm gonna show you the right side way. It's much easier. Just head down there, and you'll notice we're back at the fans where we were in the last one, but much easily without any hassle. So we're just gonna wait for the lasers, jump out, and I mean the rest of the stuff is basically the same thing. I prefer the right side because it's much easier. There's less stuff to remember. So yeah. Now, the second one, I'm going to show you again. There's an alternate way. You can take the stairs downstairs, but I decided to take a longer route. Just so you know, there's another way if there's any drones and stuff. Okay, that's a Grineer. That's not a drone, so we can kill him. Now, this is the old way to do it that people might still do. So we're going to show these glowing grates, the shining ones. Is usually the same pattern, and you'll notice we're back in the console room. Much easier to do. So yeah, that's the second way to do it, and that is Uranus Spy done. Now moving to Corpus Spy. Corpus Spy are much more trickier. They have cameras and stuff. So let's see, but they're easy to hack. On different tiers of planets, you'll find this more difficult. But we're gonna do the same thing. We shoot that crate, shoot this one. You can there's in that room you will find a console that will disable the lasers, so it will be much easier. But this is an alternate route that I'm showing. We're gonna shoot that crate, jump up, shoot this one. If you want to do it with much lesser hacking, or if you don't feel much confident, be careful about that camera, by the way, because it will trigger the alarms. We're gonna hack it, and that's this one done. Now the next one. This one has a few two ways to do it as well. I'll show it to you in just a second. Now, of course, the security will depend on what tier of planet you are on. So be sure to check about for cameras and stuff and the lasers as well. On the higher planet, those lasers will be active, so be careful about going through them. This is an alternate route you can take. Just watch out for these lasers. You can slide underneath them, hack the console on the door, and checking for cameras. There's none now, and we're gonna hack it, and that's that done. Now, the alternate way to do it is the Wukong way, you can say. Much easier to do. Just jump up onto the top of the thing. We're gonna slowly inch our way down one by one. With Wukong, you can just basically use your two and go down. So yeah, that's the other way that I prefer to do when I'm playing Wukong. Now, onto the third one, the next one. This one as well will have various difficulty levels. This is on a much higher tier planet. Uh, it's on Neptune, if I'm right. The way that it is on Venus. So yeah, on the lower tier planets, this will be much easier. You can just shoot that crate and jump through here instead of going through all the lasers. Instead of doing the parkour, you can do it this way. You directly get access to the console room, and that's that done as well. Now, for the same one on the higher tier planet, be careful about the cameras, by the way. There are going to be cameras. There's going to be much more difficult parkour because the lasers will be tricky. You can turn them off on this as well. So so yeah, I'm going to show you the grate, right? It's going to be hard closed. So you can't open it on higher tier planets. So that way will be closed. So you're going to have to mostly parkour over, which isn't much difficult, but if you find it challenging, I guess you're going to have to learn a bit. Dis- Destroying the cameras so we don't trigger. This way is much easier, to be honest, the parkour way. But if you fear that you will trigger the alarms, you can find a lot. You can use the alternate route. Now, the next one, this one is much easier as well. There's two grades take to take notice of. That one, if that is closed, what we do is we're gonna go around, check for the cameras again. Yeah, we're gonna go around these leads. You can turn them off as well, or you can just jump around that way, hack the console, and this grate will be open. Either of these grates will always be open. So if the first one isn't open, this one will be. This one directly leads inside the hacking room. Now, in case this grate is closed, right? So what we're gonna do is go on to the other side. If that door isn't open, we're gonna go around the way that we came in again. We're gonna shoot this camera. Then we trigger the alarm. So yeah, that grate will lead you to right outside the door. We're gonna hack it, hack the console, and hack the spy. That's that done. So those are the two ways to do that one. Now this one can be a bit tricky depending on what tier planet you're on, what tile set you get. You can just hack in and go through there, or what you can do is take the alternate route if you wish, if you feel a bit adventurous. Always be sure to check for cameras, by the way. Otherwise, you will trigger the alarms and it'll be a bit tricky. Check for cameras again, like always. It's none, so we're just gonna head over and hack the console. Now, the next one is much easier. Shoot the cameras, wait for the lasers to go off. On higher tier planets like Neptune, Pluto, there will be more lasers, so just be careful about it, that you don't trigger them. We're gonna hack the console. This one is pretty much easy. This one is the easiest. You just have to time it right. Check for cameras again. There's none. So we're gonna head over and hack it. Now onto Jupiter Spy. Like Earth and Uranus, there's Jupiter Spy, which is different among all the Corpus Spy missions. Now, first one, hack the door outside. Depending on what door is open, left or right, it's basically gonna be the same, but come over to the extreme side and turn off the lasers, or basically just instead of being constantly on, they're gonna have a pattern. Hack this particular console, or maybe the other side. If you had the left side door open, you can basically turn the other side of the lasers off completely. So don't worry about it. Now head upstairs to the area that we were in earlier, to the console, and just hack it. Now, this one has two ways to do it as well. I'm going to show you the longer way to do it, and there's going to be the shorter way as well. So we're going to head down. Be careful about these, by the way, or you will trigger the alarms. This is the reason it's longer and much time consuming, you can say, but if you want to take your time doing this, so you can choose this way. we're just jumping between these gaps so we don't trigger the alarms and can do the mission. So when you come to this point, just jump up at the right time, head down this way, wait for this to turn off as well, and jump up and you're inside. Hack the console and you're done. So the second way to do this is the right side way. So you just follow the pipes on the right side, the flaming pipes. That way, head up the stairs onto the left side, destroy any cameras that you find. Head down here, and this is where the tricky parts comes in. So you have to avoid lasers this way. I trip the lasers, but yeah, you can do it pretty easily as well. So that's the two ways to do this particular spy mission easily. Now onto the third one. There's only there's no variation in Jupiter, Earth, or Uranus spy. So it's gonna be the same ones over and over again. Now this one, you're gonna have to avoid these big lasers. So what you can do is just head on this way, just go underneath them, head over here as well, continue on, wait for the lasers to pass by, and jump down here. So you're gonna wanna go this way. Avoid the lasers again. It's pretty much easier. Turn right. And after this right turn, you're gonna have to do some parkour. Jump and slide a bit. Or just regular jumping and running. We come up here and we can hack the console, and that's Jupiter Spy done as well. Pretty much easy. This grade only opens after you're done with the spy, so sadly that's not a way inside. So out of the frames that I'll recommend, first of all, Wukong is my first recommendation. He's basically called as the Spy King because his two will basically make you go through lasers without triggering them. He will turn invisible as well. So basically, he's the Spy King in my opinion. So Wukong is my first recommendation. The second one I'll recommend to do is Limbo. Limbo can avoid lasers while in his rift, but he will still get detected by cameras, so be careful about it. Or you can use Untraceable mod, which you'll be seeing on the screen. That one is really useful for Limbo as well. It'll make you invisible for 15 seconds after hacking. Third one, Ash and Loki at the same time. They'll basically go invisible, but they will trigger the alarms, so be careful about it when using them. They're basic, they're really great, but they can trigger lasers, so be really, really careful about it. Now, the last frame I'll recommend is Ivara with the augment, which you'll be seeing on the screen right now. So she's really great as well. She can turn invisible, and there's less a chance to trigger alarms with her augment. So yeah, that's basically my recommendations. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned something new. If you did, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. There will be part 2 coming for the spoiler planets, that is Kuva Fortress and Lua Spy, very soon. I'll be adding some more content into it as well. So see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye bye.